Hi everybody, my name is Kortney Bush. I'm an audiology student at UT Dallas, and I am excited to present my poster, Verification of Remote Microphones Paired to Implants by Audiologists Who Are Hard of Hearing. Thank you to Megan Cantwell for assisting me with this, and thank you to Dr. Linda Thibodeau for mentoring me on this project. As an introduction, auditory listening checks of remote microphone systems paired to cochlear implants are especially important as electroacoustic analysis that can be traditionally performed on a hearing aid cannot be performed with a cochlear implant. Because listening check protocols and features vary based on manufacturer, this also requires audiologists to combine information across multiple sources. But there's been limited suggestions regarding the verification process for audiologists with atypical hearing. There are currently tutorials that exist on the American Academy of Audiology webpage that review accessible ways audiologists with hearing loss can carry out hearing aid listening checks. However, there are few resources that exist regarding listening checks on remote microphones that are paired with the cochlear implants, which is the rationale for this poster. There are two purposes of this poster. The first is to provide a guide that illustrates methods for hard of hearing or deaf audiologists who are cochlear implant or hearing aid users that can successfully carry out listening checks on remote microphone systems when they are connected to a cochlear implant. The second purpose is for audiologists to relay this information to parents or legal guardians who are also cochlear implant or hearing aid users to use for troubleshooting their child's wireless technology. This research was completed using manufacturer manuals in a Phonak Roger configurator. The equipment that was used to carry out the listening check by those with atypical hearing was a Roger Select, a micro USB cord with a 3.5mm jack, Phonak Audio Paradise hearing aids, or a Med-L Sonnet 2 sound processor, and depending on if they were hearing aid or a CI user, a Roger 03 integrated receiver or a Roger 21 receiver was utilized. The listening checks were also carried out with the typical equipment that you would use to carry that out, but I broke it down into Cochlear Advanced Bionics or Med-L. So for Cochlear, a Roger touchscreen mic was utilized, a Roger 20 receiver was utilized, Cochlear Nucleus 7 CP1000 sound processor, and a Cochlear monitor earphone adapter was used. For Advanced Bionics, we used a Roger touchscreen mic, a Roger 17 receiver, the Advanced Bionics NAIDA Q90 sound processor, and the Advanced Bionics listening check module was used. For Med-L, a Roger touchscreen mic, a Roger 21 receiver, a Med-L Sonnet 2 EAS sound processor, the microphone test device, and the Sonnet microphone test device adapter was utilized. For the results of this study, the listening check protocol for remote microphones paired to cochlear implants by hard of hearing listeners are illustrated in Figure 1. Step 1 illustrates how to connect the touchscreen mic to the cochlear implant with the manufacturer's specific listening checker installed. So for Cochlear, the Roger touchscreen mic needed to be paired with the Cochlear N7 CP1000 sound processor by the Roger 20 receiver. So if you look on the right side, the Cochlear N7 CP1000 cochlear monitor earphone adapter is installed with the Roger 20 receiver on it as well. For Advanced Bionics, we used a Roger 17 receiver to connect the Roger touchscreen mic to the Advanced Bionics NAIDA Q90 sound processor. The Advanced Bionics utilizes the listening check module, and that is installed in between the battery and the sound processor, and the receiver goes on the bottom of the battery. For Med-L, the Roger touchscreen mic is paired with the Med-L Sonnet 2 sound processor by way of the Roger 21 receiver. The Roger 21 receiver comes installed in the battery pack that goes onto the sound processor. We utilize the microphone test device with the Sonnet MTD adapter. So the Med-L Sonnet CI was connected to the microphone test device by way of the coil that we showed that you plug into the microphone test device. Step 2 connected the Audiologist Roger Select to the remote microphone cochlear implant being tested. Each manufacturer's specific listening checker comes with removable earbuds that have a 3.5mm cord on them. We plugged a 3.5mm jack into the auxiliary jack with a micro USB port on the opposite end. The micro USB cord was plugged into the Rogers Select directly. At the bottom, you can see each illustration for each manufacturer that this entailed. Step 3 is the listening check was carried out by the hard of hearing person with their personal cochlear implants or personal hearing aids. If they had hearing aids, the hearing aids were put into the program that had the Rogers Select paired with it. So they were connected to the Rogers Select by way of the Roger 03 integrated receiver. For the cochlear implant was set to the appropriate program with the Rogers Select on it. The Roger 21 receiver was installed into the cochlear implant, and the Rogers Select had a direct route that way. Figure 1 provides a guide for individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing to perform listening checks on remote microphones paired to cochlear implants. Each cochlear implant was paired to a touchscreen mic by the appropriate receiver. The CI is then connected to the manufacturer's specific listening adapter that can be connected to headphones so persons with typical hearing can do the listening checks. Because the Rogers Select has an input jack, it can be connected to a 3.5mm cord with the micro USB connected to the Rogers Select. The personal hearing aid or cochlear implant used by the listener was then set to the appropriate program, and the listener would then brush on the microphone of the Roger touchscreen mic or talk into it to verify the connectivity or sound quality. Another person can also talk into the Roger touchscreen and walk away for more accuracy. Please review my references that were utilized to carry out this project. I want to say thank you so much for coming to my presentation, and if you have any more questions or any information is needed, please contact me at kortney.bush@utdallas.edu. Thank you again for your attention.